Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to an episode of Legendario, which today is actually Legendaria. And I'm over here sitting with my good friend. She's an Emmy Award-winning poet, executive director of the legendary Nuyorican Poets Cafe. She's a lyricist, rapper, songwriter, actor, producer, did I say poet, entrepreneur, and mother. Please welcome my good friend, Caridad de la Luz, also known as La Bruja.
Yes, baby. Woo. Danny
Hastings, Legendario. The podcast. He framed the era, he froze the time between the industry, art, and the riverland rhyme. It's the architect's vision, then the master's flow. Danny Hastings, Legendario. From the dark of the room, straight into the light, bringing gems of the culture back into the sight. The images were silent, now he's letting them speak with the giants of the era that made it unique. He's sitting with the legends he once caught in the lens to tell the whole story where the photograph ends. The truth of the cover, the grit and the glory. The man who shot the icons is telling a story. He framed the era, he froze the time between the industry, art, and the rhythm and rhyme. It's the architect's vision, then the master's flow. Danny Hastings, Legendary. Subscribe now.
Been a minute, huh?
Yes, it has.
Been a minute.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Reunited.
You've done some amazing stuff. I can't wait to get into it. What's the secret sauce? You're looking so youthful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how. Really, coconut oil and coconut oil. I think self-expression for sure.
Yeah.
If it's definitely saying what you feel. It really does keep you young.
You love what you do and you do what you love.
Yeah, it's a calling, and sometimes it's not easy, but it's always worth it.
I've always been intrigued of your moniker, right? La Bruja, right? La Bruja, like I was like attracted to it like right away as soon as I knew of you and your wordsmith. I met you as a poet and as an actress. But you were La Bruja before a lot of brujas.
I was the first bruja.
You were the first.
I was La
Bruja.
Let's thank you for saying that.
You know, and then there's a bruja movement. A lot of women that I think they're in touch with, their indigenous roots.
Yes.
And now, because there's a lot of information now, but tell me, when did Caridad de la Luz, which by the way is an amazing name, you were blessed with the light.
Thank you.
And Caridad, it's just you were sharing, your goodness with everybody, right? When did Caridad decided to become La Bruja? Tell me about that.
It was very young. My mother used to clean the house listening to the albums of Celina Gonzalez. And Celina Gonzalez era de Cuba. It was Celina y Reutilio album. She was famous for Que Viva Chango. That was her biggest hit. And she was a Santeria. And my mother named me after La Patrona de Cuba. And so she had this song called Papá Bocó. And in that song, ella dice, ayúdame, bruja. Ábreme los caminos, bruja. And I was a teeny, like 3, 4, 5, listening to these albums when mommy would clean the house. And I remember thinking, wow, like, could I be a bruja? Like, could I abrir caminos? And so that seed was planted because of Celina Gonzalez. And then in 2001, when I went to Cuba, I got to meet Celina Gonzalez. I tracked her down, kissed her feet, brought her gifts. Yeah, it was an incredible spiritual journey. But plus my parents, they baptized me Catholic, and I have my relationship with Jesus, of course.
Yes.
And but they also taught me about Buddha and Allah and all the orishas. And so they were very non-denominational in spirituality. And they made sure to teach me about all these ways. And yeah, somos una familia pues de espiritista, really, you know. We would get together and cleanse each other. Like, you know, the family would get together and do misas, like, you know, con agua florida and consult.
Right.
And so I come from that. But I never used to talk about that. Now I feel the world is ready to hear it. Like now that there is a Bruja movement and it is very spiritual, like I was the first to be like openly, soy Bruja.
Right.
If you really knew my spiritual path, you're going to call me a Bruja anyway.
Right.
On top of the fact that when we write, we spell, we are spelling, we are creating spells, like all of those things, the words, what you
Energy.
manifest. And furthermore, I also had a lot of paranormal experiences.
Right.
Seen a lot of ghosts and have had communications and, you know, in places, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like a clairvoyant. I can't just go anywhere and say, this happened here. But there'll be some places that they'll tell me and, you know, and I'll receive the message.
Right.
So all of that.
That's definitely, I believe in that. I also believe that we have a sixth sense that we don't know how to use. And it happens to me a lot with you. Like I'm either thinking about you or you're thinking about me, and all of a sudden we call each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I was just thinking about you. I was like, that's crazy. I was just thinking about you, right? Like, is there that sense that humans have that they haven't developed?
We are so powerful that the negative powers that be have done everything to fog our vision. They've changed the frequency in the music. They've calcified our pineal gland with what they put in the water and what they put in our food. So
Tell me about that gland.
That third eye that they tell, you know, you hear all the time about the third eye. We actually have a gland in there that is crystallized and receives messages. That's what in Egyptian culture, when you see the cobras coming out of the forehead, that's really the kundalini rising and coming out. It's the knowing, it's the awareness. The Ujat eye of Egypt, that's really the brain slit in half, and that symbol is really the pineal gland.
Right.
So we, through diet, through music, through all of those things, and if we don't meditate, if we don't tap in, well, you know, it gets weak.
Right.
It's like a muscle.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of people pray, but do you meditate?
Right.
Because praying is asking, meditating is receiving. So if you listen, things are going to come to you.
Right.
You know.
And meditating is so good for us because it's not a written book. Like when you pray and it's like a book that they gave you and you just recite there every day, there's no different meaning to, you know, your needs. Like your body changes. Like, you know, you can't be reciting things, you know, every day the same thing every over and over and over, right? When you meditate, like, you know, you're in the presence, you're in the now. Like your body, like the energy flows right through you and through your brain, to your mind, to your body, your soul. You know, I feel like I love meditating because when you come out of that, you're just like, it feels so good.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're not with troubled thoughts, you know, if you don't dare go in and clear it out, like see what's going on in there, it's going to start manifesting in other things. You know, you could get sick if you don't really check what's going on, what are you thinking, what are you feeling, and check in with yourself. We're extremely powerful beings. And that was another reason why I wanted to call myself La Bruja, because I wanted people to think about what that means. You know, it's not negative all the time. Like people want to make it negative, but
History did.
sure.
Yeah.
But you know, there's curanderismo y espiritismo, and you know, they want to call it demonic because it also if we embraced it,
It challenges.
we are too powerful, and that's not what, you know, the powers that be want.
Yeah.
You know, they want us dumbed down. They want us soldiers. They
Yeah.
want us to do their tasks, not to live our truth.
Yeah.
So
The
it's deep.
prosecuted women in Europe during the medieval times because they will actually cure you with herbs, you know what I mean, and do cleansing, and religion came and just were actually burning women,
Yeah, sure.
right?
They were doing it in Salem. They do, you know,
Yeah.
they've done it, and even women that were outspoken.
Were outspoken,
They
right.
just for being outspoken,
Just
or
for being
or
outspoken.
being sexual, or having
Right.
any desires of their
Yeah.
own that was outside of the confines of what society deemed
Right.
acceptable. But burn her,
Right.
destroy her.
You put all of that into your art, don't you?
It's right there for all of those women and more. I do it. Yeah, for sure.
I love it. I'm gonna tell you a story that I actually never share with anybody. My first experience with a bruja. I was about 12 years old, and my mother decided to give us a limpieza. She was a Cuban. She was from Cuba, and she went to Panama, right? And they, I think my mother paid for the deluxe package because
What, she had chickens? What, she had the whole
they
thing?
did a lot. They did a lot. But I remember what I take forever, until I die, was that she took us to un cruce de a
Street, a
crossroad,
crossroads, yeah.
right? And this is Panama. This is like country Panama, right? Like, there was like a jungle around, you know what I mean? Like weeds and stuff like that. So we're in this crossroad, right? And then me and my brother are right next to each other, and she's smoking a cigar and doing some, I couldn't really understand what she was saying. But then she grabs a coconut, and she goes behind us, and then she cracks the coconut, and she whoosh, opens in the water, like all dramatic, like that. I can just remember that shit like it was yesterday. And then she goes to the right, and then she breaks the coconut, and then she's still smoking the cigar. And then she goes to our left, and then she's like, she breaks the coconut like that, and then she's smoking around, and I was like, why didn't you break a coconut in front of us? And you know what she said? She
To leave the bad behind you?
So your path is open straight up, and you will never,
Yeah.
detour. Your
Todo
path
eso
is
es
open.
in the back. Dejarlo atrás. Yeah.
Yo, that stayed with me forever. And then since then, I
papi.
feel my path's been open,
Luz.
Right?
Eso, yeah. Bien
So,
lindo.
yeah.
And look at all the amazing things you've done.
Beautiful,
You got cleansed. You were blessed. There's different ways to be blessed, but it's the intention.
Right?
That's really what it is. It's the intention.
So that was my first Bruja
I
experience.
love it. I love it. No, Cuba has a very, very powerful energy spiritually. Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's no different than religion blessings. It is a religion, and part of Santeria, as we know it, was African beliefs that were hidden in santos, because of the prohibition that
The backlash of it. Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
The Catholic
They had to
religion
hide
didn't
it.
allow that. They had to hide that,
Exacto.
right?
Mhm.
And there's a beauty amongst like the indigenous culture as well, that they believe in the star, the moons, the water, the river, Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Like that's really our religion, right?
That's really church, is nature. That's really the temple of God, Creator,
yeah.
for sure.
So you bring La Bruja into your life, and you decide to write poetry, right?
My great grandmother was the poet. She was the one that taught me when I was a little girl, and so it started really, really young. I was doing this really young, open mics in my living room. I have pictures of it.
Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications for part 2, where we see that magic hit the stage. We're diving into La Bruja's career. For a signed copy of my new book, Legendario Act 2, Digging in the Crates, visit DannyHastings.com.